there really is something extremely devastating and heartbreaking about not being in contact with the literal other half of the life that you're growing. I think that protecting my child from that person is probably the best thing I can do for them. I can say with 100% confidence I wouldn't be sitting here if it weren't for the fact that I got pregnant. Hello and welcome the fuck back. Wait, I can't say fuck in the first 20 seconds. Welcome back to Tangent Telephone, which I do think I'm going to shorten to just Tangent Podcast. But that's neither here nor there, nor anywhere. Because if you can tell by the title, although I have no fucking clue what I'm making the title of this episode at this point, we have a bun in the oven. We have a pea in the pod. No, that's not. I already, calling it a soft lunch is a really weird thing to do, but I posted on Instagram on my feed 4 photos that highly alluded to the fact that I'm pregnant. I thought it was great, especially the screenshot of Aunt Becky from Full House where she's trying to tell Jesse that she's pregnant, and so she's like, first of all, I was trying to find a screenshot from the dinner that she does for him where she's like, she gives him baby carrots and like baby corn or something. I don't know. And he like doesn't get it. And then later they're playing Pictionary. It's like cheese. And then she writes half. And then there's a bottle of ink. And then he's like, she's having a hot dog. Anyway, I put a screenshot of that in that dump. And then I made the caption, what's better than 1 Libra? Because yes, I am due actually in October, which I am a September Libra. I almost just said I'm famously a September Libra, which is really funny. I'm certainly not famously, but in my head, I'm famously a September Libra. Yes, and actually, I'm an idiot and I do this every time for some reason. I always think that the second trimester starts at 13 weeks, but it starts at the end of 13 weeks, aka 14 weeks. So I was thinking until I looked at my little app thing and it said 13 weeks and 5 days a couple days ago. I was like, wait a second. I just posted that I was a third baked, but it actually wasn't officially until today, which, well, do I want to give out exact dates? Not really. But today, as I'm filming this, I'm officially in my second trimester. A couple weeks ago, I stopped being sick nonstop. I got my energy back for a bit and then it went down real quick, but it also could be the fact that I just spent the past week and a half moving nonstop. On the 30th, I had movers and I accidentally actually I didn't, that's not true. I hired 1 moving company and then I ended up having 2. It's a whole thing. I was vlogging, which is surprising, so you'll see that. And it's been over a week, and for the first week I just was nonstop moving in, and I'm still not anywhere near moved. Well, I don't want to say anywhere near, but I will say I have yet to unbox any of my skincare, my clothing, obviously not makeup. I don't know why, but I really started with like the areas that don't matter. I just have a lot of stuff and it always surprises me because like I think I talked about last time, I donated a bunch of things, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be a way easier move this time. No. If anything, this has been the most overwhelming move in my memory. I mean, it could be that I'm pregnant and I don't know. It's so much. It is so much. And like, I've had friends offer to help. But the thing is, like, I'm just so particular and I would like to do it myself. And so I have been. But the problem is, like, I just kind of had to, a couple days ago, like, resign myself to the fact that this is what I will be doing until it's done. Aside from, like, I don't know, curtains and art and, like, decor. But, like, as far as having my actual things out, like, I can't even organize my closet because it's just full of really heavy boxes. Someone is going to mount my TV for me, and I think I'm gonna have him do like all of the handyman stuff that I normally do, but I'm not doing it now because we got a little, what should I refer to the baby as? Obviously the baby is just fine, but I'm trying to think of a way to refer to the baby. Also, hi, I don't think I even did any sort of intro, I just kind of went into it, but on my little app, I'm gonna blur the date. But as you can see, actually after I just did that, I don't know why I didn't just take a screenshot and put it in. Like, what the fuck? Hello? The name that I have in the app is just Miracle BB because it really is a miracle. And for reasons other than the ones that you guys already know, I'm certainly not going to go into this really at all for a while. But I got pregnant essentially a couple of days after I had a surgery where, if you're new here, I have severe endometriosis. I've had too many surgeries to count at this point. Laparotomies, laparoscopies, even just. But in January, I was having a much more involved, intense surgery, which I will talk about in due time. But before having the surgery, when I didn't know that I was going to, require the surgery, long story short, I had to be dilated. And so that happened. And then I ended up needing to get surgery anyway, where they go in through my abdomen. But 2 or 3 days after that, I had sex. Surprise, that's how you literally have children. As hard as everything has been, it's a miracle. It's that act. I know this sounds like whatever, but like the act of having sex that day when, first of all, I shouldn't have been. Like, I just had a very invasive surgery and also some things that had happened in the months prior. But I can say with like almost 100% confidence I wouldn't be sitting here if it weren't for the fact that I got pregnant. And the reason I talked about like being dilated is because it's not like a walk in the park for me to get pregnant. I usually have so many lesions. I mean, it's kind of the reason why the first time I ever got pregnant when I was 27, it was when I had Nexplanon in my arm, which I never have been on birth control except for like a couple of stints around that time. And it just happened to be for 2 months when I had a Nexplanon in my arm that I got pregnant for the first time. And that was just because the Nexplanon was really helping my endometriosis so much. And then I just happened to like fall in the small percentile of people who get pregnant on birth control. And, looking back, anytime that I have gotten pregnant has been kind of directly after a surgery, where obviously the goal of the surgery is to remove lesions and endometrial tissue. Yeah, okay. I don't want to get too much into this, but I guess the point of that was I've been referring to the baby as Miracle Baby. I do not know the gender yet. In my experience, it kind of depends. Around this time, like, you can find out I think I found out the gender of Sapphire, who was I had to deliver her on January 1st, 2023. She was stillborn. I want to say I found out at like less than 13 weeks, and that just happened to be because of the position she was in. I think it was about 13 weeks. And then other times I haven't necessarily made it far long enough, but I think I'm going to find out at this next appointment. I have my feeling as to what I think I'm having. Let's see, what else will I say just on this topic? I guess, okay. I really didn't want this episode to be like this or to even touch on any of that, actually. But I was just thinking, the other day I was FaceTiming my sister, and we haven't gotten a chance to like FaceTime yet because she lives in Costa Rica and she's traveling, whatever. She understands my situation. She understands I'm doing it alone, and she understands my trauma and just the amount of loss I've faced when it comes to pregnancy and miscarriage and my ectopic pregnancy and my stillbirth. So she knows all of that, but even still knowing that, she was like, all that considered, like, I feel like, are we happy about this? Because I'm like sensing some, and I'm like, no, I am. Like, it's very hard because of the circumstances, and also I think more so because of my past to like, if it weren't for the fact that like my job is online, and especially now when, it's been like a year and a half, I think, since I've had like a real stable income when I quit OnlyFans and everything. So, I want to, but I also have to go back to being, more consistent online. And obviously the podcast is back, whatever. But like, I really, in an ideal world, which none of this is ideal, so I don't know why I would even throw this out there, but like, I really would prefer to have not announced it, to probably have not told friends even until, I don't know, 22 weeks, because I have so much anxiety. I don't know when that stopped recording, but I was saying it's a constant struggle, and the days are just so different. Like, some days I will only feel like immense joy and excitement and gratitude, and none of the anxiety or fear or my trauma really comes up, and it's just the way that you should feel when you're pregnant, And other days, it's just a constant battle of not even like wishing the situation was different, because like I have accepted that. I accepted that pretty early on. I'm actually a lot happier doing this alone than I would be if the father was involved, 1,000% for sure. But even like the feelings of kind of feeling upset with myself, which I don't know if I ever felt this way, because it's like, I just look at this as such a blessing. And I've always known that, like, if there's one thing that I'm going to be good at in life, it's going to be being a mother. Also, things in my life are really aligning. There's a lot of fear at the beginning financially because of things that I'll talk about later. But like, just as the universe does, everything is really aligning. And I got some incredible news yesterday, and I'm just not worried about it. And I know that that's going to be fine. But I will say, someone keeps texting me. Crazy how much, like, men don't care or like, what am I trying to say? Like, you would think, like, I announced I'm pregnant and now, like, no one's hitting me up anymore. The amount of men that were hitting me up before has even increased. But it's like the good quality ones, if that makes any sense. Which really says a lot, you know, the fact that, like, the father I haven't spoken to. Just, I have a lot of anxiety about the fact that, you know, in the past, I thought I was, quote unquote, in the clear. And I was doing it by myself that time too. And it was the thing that I was holding on to and giving me hope. And I'm just scared. I just want the baby to be healthy, and I just want to be able to meet them, you know? And I think I will say now, just reflecting on the past couple of months, I am actually very proud of myself. I've been really good with just my emotions. Yeah, pregnancy is super crazy, and the hormones of it all and the emotions of it all. But I'm just so hyper aware of the fact that, you know, how I'm feeling, how I take care of myself, not just physically, but definitely mentally. It's like, I'm proud of how I actually, like, I can't remember the last time I, like, cried. To be honest, I think it was probably, like, the last time I saw my ex. Yeah, I sometimes start to spiral with thoughts about, you know, the future, or hoping the baby's okay, or what have you. Just a lot of things. And then there's also just a lot going on in life right now. But I'm really able to, like, rein it in and snap back to reality, and just not reality, because I mean, that is actually reality, but just kind of redirecting my energy and emotions and attention to the life that's inside of me, and remembering, like, how I'm feeling right now, how my nervous system is doing right now. It is very important. And as someone who has a mom who had 6 daughters, and I'm the youngest, what you're going through when you're pregnant with someone 1,000% shapes who that person becomes. And before me, my mom had a baby who only lived a couple of weeks. You can imagine that my mom, in fact, I've had this thought a lot. I haven't talked to her about it, but I feel kind of in a different way, because she already had 4 kids and was married with support. But I feel like I might feel kind of similarly to how my mom felt when she was pregnant with me, because she was probably, and I know she was, just so worried that something was going to happen because of what she just went through. And I will say that I'm grateful for, obviously, my family and my closest friends for at least, you know, offering to be there for support, even though I really don't take anyone up on it ever, and I don't really know how to ask for help. I don't really even know what help, I don't know, to know that those people are there if need be. But I will say, like, there really is something extremely devastating and heartbreaking about not being in contact with the literal other half of the life that you're growing. And even if that's a person that you don't think is a good person, or you certainly wouldn't want to talk to, like, if you weren't pregnant, but there is just a biological thing of, like, I don't hate anyone, but, like, just to paint a picture, like, yeah, I may hate you, but, like, I need you, because for the reasons that I can't explain, like, my body feels like it wants you to be around and to take care of me. And I'm not ever consciously thinking that. Like I said, I know that I'm better off. And I don't get sad about the loss of the relationship at all. It quite literally is just like this weird, I mean, I shouldn't say weird, but it's just a biological thing, you know? But I also know that that feeling will go away when I give birth. And I think that protecting my child from that person is probably the best thing I can do for them. So, wow, it's so crazy, because I had, like, a plan. I had, like, a loose plan for this episode, or at least for the first part, and I totally didn't follow it at all. I'm like, so Coachella's this weekend. I got invited to go to a lot of parties and the artist passes, but I'm obviously not going. Like, there were things that I was going to talk about, but it's like, who cares? And I'll talk more about, I guess, just the situation with the father in due time, like I've talked about in past episodes. But it's really important that certain things happen first before I do that. And I'm just taking care of me. And this move has been I already said like this move's been a lot, but like I have been next level exhausted for the past week. Like the first 3 days of the move, I kind of like got my energy back and I was like, oh my gosh, finally, like I'm at 12 however many weeks. Like, but then I think because I pushed it so hard, I just have been exhausted. And also I've only been sleeping like 5 hours a night max. That's not good. I have a really cool neighbor who works in fashion, and I was like, I promise you, I mean, I have a little bump, right? And since early February, I've gained, I almost said 16, but I think it's 13. I don't know, but I've gained weight, which is very good. Even if I weren't pregnant, I would have needed to gain weight after my last relationship. People that know me, they know I'm showing. I don't know that the average person would. They might, I don't know. But I was telling her because she works in fashion and I was wearing like a big oversized t-shirt so she could just see like my arms and legs when I was moving in. And she was like, well, you must be a model. Like you must do runway, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, yes. But like after I give birth, I will let you design something for me. Or honestly, like design a beautiful gown for me to wear. Well, like, no, I don't want to wear a gown. Anyway, my boobs are huge, as you can tell. I'm literally just wearing a sports bra. They hurt. Any like moment of fear or anxiety, or I guess like anyone that asks me about like, cause like I was saying with like, where's my nose ring? I don't ever take out my nose ring. I have no clue why I literally wear a really thin hoop and I never take it out. Oh, wow, my brain. That was weird. I literally took it out like last night, I think, because I have been getting bloody noses. Okay, that was so weird. My brain just fully short-term memory. Like I was saying with like men reaching out to me or whatever and like wanting to take me to dinner or like come whatever. Where was like dude, I thought ADHD was bad, but the short-term memory plus the ADHD. Oh my god. What was I saying? Oh my god, what the fuck was I about to say about men? Oh, if a man asks me, like a man that I'm talking to, whatever, and the ones that I'm talking to, like they know. If they're like, okay, so like, what's up with the dad, or like, are you talking to him, whatever, and then just like having to explain that sucks. But no one has received, like, they've all been like, no, he's just a piece of shit. And that's not me saying that. They've allegedly said, whatever, I don't need to use allegedly. There's a really lovely man that I have been talking to, and he has a kid, and he's like not in contact with the mother, and he has a daughter, and she's pretty young. I'm not going to say the exact age, but she's quite young. They're 50-50, I believe. But he's like, I can't imagine like not seeing my daughter just because things didn't work out with her mother. And like I believe they broke up. Well, I won't like give any more details because I don't want anyone to figure out who I'm talking about, but it's just people understand, and it's like if they don't, they're weird. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this right now because I just wish you guys had all the information and whatever, but all that matters is like I was gonna say I can sleep at night, which is really funny because I don't sleep at night. I could if I got my ass in bed, but hypothetically, I can sleep at night. I don't know. There's nothing weighing on me in terms of like my actions or like I haven't done anyone wrong. It's just the emotions that I feel that are difficult are because of the situation I'm in, and that's that. And then aside from that, like I'm so excited and so grateful. Damn it, I knew I should have canceled I signed up for a yin yoga class at Equinox at 5:30. I just looked at my phone, it's 5:36. Oops. So yeah, fuck. It's like I don't even know what I just said. I definitely didn't say anything that I had planned on saying. I mean, I wanted to talk about like fun things, but then also like I thought that this was going to be a shorter announcement in like at the top of this podcast, but then I was like, I didn't film last week because moving. I already posted on Instagram. It's like, and I posted on Patreon and YouTube members only. Yeah. And moving forward, I don't think I'm going to talk much about my pregnancy. It'll just be like in the room with us, What else? I guess that's all for now. I want to talk about some things, but the problem is now I don't have time because I just yapped for so goddamn long about I don't even know what. To be honest, because I have to like turn my head this way because the mic is over here right now, and I know you can't tell because it's just a white wall, but I'm in my new apartment and I'm in the room that will eventually be a studio, but it certainly is not yet. But because have my head turned this way and I'm also looking out the window, so I feel like that whole time I was just talking and staring out the window, looking at a really pretty view. And like I don't know any of what I just said. I also don't know what I look like. I know I don't look great. I haven't found my makeup yet. Not that I don't know if I've ever worn makeup on this podcast this season. I'm just not really wearing makeup at all these days for the past almost 2 years now. Yeah, my skin is in like the dull phase of pregnancy. I'm hoping that the glow comes in at some point, but I'm torn between having this just be a shorter episode right now, and then tomorrow morning when I was planning on finishing this, doing the second part, I just feel like this was the tone and the vibe was very somber. That's just me having to over explain everything, but also at the same time not explaining anything properly because I can't yet. But I'm also I have this like wooden thing that says love at first heartbeat, and it's holding up one of the ultrasound photos from I think I was like 9.5 weeks at that ultrasound. And then it was like a couple days after that I told my parents. At that point, the only person that knew was like 2 of my friends and then my ex, which I wouldn't be surprised if he was just like pretending that wasn't a thing. But who knows? Who cares? Certainly not me. He's probably in Turkey getting a hair transplant. I mean, he's probably not there, but he probably should be there. Probably should be in therapy. Probably should be doing a lot of things. But let's just say I hope that 99.9% of the genes come from me. I know that's not how things work, but okay. For the sake of this, just I guess being not somber, but like it's been very monotone, calm, but also not at all what I planned. But the episodes never go as planned, so it's like, why do I keep trying? Just stick to a plan. I think tomorrow morning when I film, because I'm gonna have someone with me, I think we'll just reset, start fresh, and I'll just end it here for now. I guess those are just some of my thoughts, how I've been feeling. A little bit of a life update. I mean, I have been moving and that has been consuming me. Met a couple of boys that I like. I love calling them boys when they're like in their late 30s. Well, one's 32. One's 37. Also, I don't know if it makes sense to say it on the pod, but like I have received so many kind DMs, and I know things are like real. I don't know what that means, but like obviously I get a lot of DMs all the time, but like when I start noticing that like I'm getting, I don't know, 5,000% more emails daily from like followers, subscribers, whatever than usual, then I'm like, this is a moment. People are feeling the need to like email me, which the email that I have on my Instagram like goes through my old management, whatever. And there's just so many nice messages. And like, I don't go there anymore because it was like right by where I used to live, but there's this Pilates studio that I would go to. Not even that long. Like, I actually think I only went there probably like 8 times to do, yoga or like reformer. And the last time I was there, this girl came up to me, and this was like, I guess a couple weeks ago at this point. And she just straight up asked me if I was pregnant, which I was going to say fair, but like, no, because I hadn't like popped yet. Like I was still just in the phase of like looking bloated, I thought. But I guess like if you're seeing me in tight clothes like 5 days, and I don't know. But she just asked me and I was like, actually, yeah, what? And then we just like talked for a while and she was so sweet. I've gone out a couple of times, which is so, I mean, it's fun. It's fun when there's other people there that are also like not drinking or that are just sober or whatever. But it's so not fun when you have to be out and be the only sober one. And not even because I'm like, I want to drink. It's just more like I would like to go home. I've gone out a few times and met people who were subscribers or followers, and just recently like have been feeling so much love from all kinds of places, like obviously family, friends, but like I said, like I met my neighbor who's super sweet, and like that's such a huge blessing right now. And people coming up to me and recognizing me and being like a different demographic than I was used to for a while, it's really cool to just have like girls come up and want to talk to me. And I don't know, I guess despite anything that I just said, because like I said, like it's like I'm literally speaking into the void, and like, but when I speak it just goes away from my memory, which is not like me. But that's kind of what this episode has been like for me. But truly, like above anything that I've said, I'm so grateful and so at peace. And the moments that I spoke about of like anxiety, just worrying if everything's okay, and then just like the stress of what's going on in life right now, they're not the majority. And like I wake up if I sleep and I go outside and journal, and I'm just so grateful. In the past I said like I'm never going to be in the position again where I'm at an ultrasound appointment alone, because it is really awful. And like when I think I've spoken about this before, like I've never been someone who's like pictured my wedding, which you would think I would be, right? If I did have like a wedding, like a big wedding, it would be super aesthetic because I'm a freaking Libra, and it would be, but I think because of that, I can't have a big wedding if I ever get married. And it's even weird to say that now, like if I ever get married, like I just kind of always assumed I would, and like I've been engaged more than once, whatever. Something that like I've always replayed in my head since I was little was like being in the room, being at a doctor's appointment, getting an ultrasound, and like holding a man's hand. And then like through my experiences of like never having someone there, even in my last relationship. But now it's like I would never do this again with someone in the room that shouldn't be in the room, even if they technically took part in making the child. Like, thank God that they're not in the room. Thank God I've had two of my girlfriends come with me to my last ultrasound, and I was like, you know what? This is so much better. And I'm hoping that my mom will fly down for my next one. What's important, just in general, pregnancy aside, is like connection and good relationships. Actual good connections, not just like people that you go out with or you only hang out with like at nighttime, or like you can gain something from them. They work for you. Like, no, like actual relationships and connections that are powerful and meaningful. And like I have that, and I'm cultivating more, as we speak. And I've always been, to my own detriment for sure, too much of a giver for just reasons of, at the core, I think, not feeling worthy, not feeling like I'm enough, feeling like I have to prove my love to someone, or like earn love, not just in relationships, but with friendships, family, everything. But it's like now having relationships like that are so much more balanced, it's like, who fucking knew? Like, it actually feels so good when things are balanced. And I don't know. I just think like that's the important thing, and not the traditional, like, you need a mom and a dad. Otherwise, you're gonna be fucked up. Like, that couldn't be further from the truth. You know what would fuck you up? Being with a mom and a dad where one or both or whatever of them are toxic and leave you with complexes and trauma, and fuck no. I'm not going to allow that. If it were the right person, of course. But because it's not, I'm so grateful that I'm doing this alone. Easier said than done, but like I said, when I step back and look at it as a whole and realize that like the immediate feelings and emotions that I'm having will pass, not only like, in this moment or after 20 minutes, whatever, but also like when I'm no longer pregnant. Yeah, am I making any fucking sense? I don't know. I probably should end this because I don't know what's coming out of my mouth. Ooh, my lemonade. This lemonade is so good. I don't know what it is. Blue Crush lemonade. I think there's like spirulina in it or something. Very good. All right, I'm gonna shut up. Maybe I will try and make another yoga class if there is one. If I had a more like ASMR voice, this could have been probably quite a calming, nice episode for you to listen to. But I don't think I have the kind of voice that people that like ASMR like. I don't know.